What's going on, friends? Hope you're doing amazing. It's your captain of the candlestick, Mr. Jeremy Alexander Newsome. That is me speaking in third person, which is really dumb to do. Hope you're enjoying your Friday. In this video, we're simply discussing and looking back at a previous trade that a trader did and talk about it, learn from it, talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the pros, and the cons. Take that information and apply it for future trades. Let's dive in together. You rock. Hey traders, friends, and family. It's Jeremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. I trust and hope you are doing incredibly, stupendously, fantastically, serendipitously tremendous. We're going to check out PayPal today and talk about a trade. As you know, on Friday, we like to do our trade reviews as we look through and kind of go over and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, some trades that may or may not have been taken, or should have been taken, or might have been taken, or could have been taken. We're going to talk about it. So let's get into PayPal. PayPal is actually a bullish swing trade that we had set up. This was the exact setup that we had on PayPal, and we canceled it yesterday. We had the high of these candles, and we just thankfully missed getting triggered yesterday by about 15 cents because that would have sucked. So we did get triggered yesterday on PayPal. Had a bullish candle yesterday, which was actually quite rare. This is one of those instances and situations when you find yourself looking at the broader market and you see the broader market doing something, and this is an individual stock that did something different. So you had a bullish candle yesterday on a big growth name stock, which has been quite rare. Yesterday, most stocks were having pretty bearish candles. So if you had a bullish candle yesterday that gapped down this morning, like the market, so the whole market gapped down this morning, but not that many stocks had bullish candles gapping down. This was an incredibly strong gap. So first of all, you have to know if you're taking this particular trade, right? For the people in the trading room, real life trading organization, we were looking at going bullish. So if we were looking at going bullish, that means some other people out in the world did go bullish, most likely, and were horrifically trapped by this gap down. My good buddy Near was asking me what a perfect gap is. This is a perfect gap. So good. I mean, study it, use it, whatever you need to create in your scanners or filters. This is it. This is straight up perfection. Yesterday, you had a high wave bullish candle when the rest of the market had big bearish candles. Okay, and then today we gapped down and opened below the low of yesterday and below recent lows after a previous bearish gap down, gap and go on volume. Therefore, this is a trend continuation. Very incredibly strong gap. Wonderful in every way. The previous gap that I'm referring to, as I'm sure you've probably picked up on, is this beast right here. That's the gap down on earnings. Now, this gap that we got today is actually almost a carbon copy similarity of this gap right here. So this gap that we had on Monday, we had a high wave bearish indecisive candle on Monday, and we gapped down and continued on Monday morning. Monday morning we actually did take PayPal bearish as a day trade, and that's the one that we did end up winning on. It was a small win, but it was a nice trade on PayPal. So the analysis was the exact same. And realistically, PayPal was also kind of hugging a long-term moving average, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, the 100. So it was gapping down below the 100, which again, I'm sure some people thought would be a little bit of a support, and it turned out it wasn't. Well, I was one of those people who thought it was going to be a support, but thankfully didn't get triggered in. Now what we're going to do is look at the 3-minute chart on PayPal and just kind of talk through this one and just look over it and see what we get and what we're going to do. And I'm going to come over here to Slack because, as you know, we're doing a trade review. And this is my good friend Lee. Unfortunately, she took this trade and definitely sucks Really, really frustrating, but we're going to talk through it, Lee, and we're going to get you better at these types of trades. So Lee said you can review my PayPal trade. I am playing a reversal 106.83 by 105.83, triggered at 10:47. Use the 3-minute candle. So 10:47, that's Eastern time, her time. So we're going to come in and just look at what she was looking at when she took that trade. And all right, so I believe pretty much right here. So let's talk about this trade that she took, and let's just kind of walk through it and see what we can determine. First of all, this was a very strong bearish gap. PayPal was only down at the time, probably what, 3.3%, which means it can go lower. Doesn't have to stop. So a very, very strong bearish gap down. I rarely fade strong, gorgeous, bearish gap and goes. That's very, of all the trades I take, this is my rarest. So Lee, put that in your book, in your notebook. When it comes to a bullish fade on a trade like this, just be as cautious and as patient as you can, because you should have taken it bearish. Obviously, you already know that, but you should have definitely taken this trade bearish. And I actually see where you got in and why you took this trade. And I also really like your stop loss and things like that, even though it got you by a penny. Trust me, it didn't get just you. It probably got about 1 million other people who had that exact same setup. So what you were looking for, so you're looking at the 3-minute chart, and again, got triggered in at 10:47. So 10:47 is pretty much right around here. So my assumption, if you got in at 10:83, is on a 47-minute candle. That means you got in around here somewhere on this pullback. So right around here. So my guess is when you saw this little bullish candle right here, that bullish candle, you wanted to get in bullish on a pullback. So once this really strong bullish candle came in, you said, all right, I'm going to get in here with a stop all the way down here, and it shouldn't hit that. Maybe I'll be able to catch the bottom on this trade. And while I don't disagree that that's not a horrifically bad idea, what we're looking at is I don't see any volume or anything that's going to tell us that that's the case. In fact, when I come over here and look at this bullish volume, right, this bullish volume and this bullish volume, we actually went lower on both instances. So all of this bullish volume got taken out right there. So this candle, this is the bearish candle, 9:18 Central. And again, I know you said you got 10:47, so this would be 9:47. If you guys are wondering about the math, I'm an hour behind Eastern on TradingView. So anyway, once this candle comes in with this really, really beautiful volume spike, and this is a gorgeous, gorgeous volume spike right there. And there's your high wave candle. Once that comes in, and then you get this candle that closes below all of that, I'm shorting. I'm just simply looking at going bearish because all the bulls, right, these bulls, all the volume from here is trapped. So I would have had a limit sell at the low of this candle with a stop up here, and I would have been in bearish. Now, I know you were taking it bullish, and I know this is hindsight, so I totally get that. And I also appreciate you sharing your loss with us because that's really exciting. We learned so much from our losses, right? On this particular example, again, just no volume, nothing that's going to show me that we're going to be bouncing. No one's really trapped. So if I'm looking at this trade just as objectively as I can, I'm not getting in yet. I have to wait for some volume or some type of chart pattern or something to really play out until I get into this bullish. You could mention that this is a Morningstar reversal, which is true, but it's not the strongest one because the very next candle was that, and then that, and then that. Plus, if that is a Morningstar reversal, which it is, on a 1 to 10 scale, it's probably a 4.1. And you have this really strong bearish candle right there. Again, if I'm going to take a Morningstar reversal, I normally like to get in above the high of the first candle, especially if it's a really bearish candle. So bottom line, you got in too early. You tried to pick the bottom a tad too early, and that happened. So once that happened, if I were in bullish, I would have exited. I would just get out. You know. So again, that's the time like when you're in a trade and you're like, you know what? I have my stop down here, but what's going to stop it from hitting it? I mean, this is, if you're talking about quote unquote confirmation of a bearish move, look at this volume, look at the breakdown of this candle, this candle, this candle. Once that candle comes in, if I'm in bullish, I just get out. Even if my stop is all the way down there, even if I've been in the trade 6 or 7 minutes, I'm allowed to in a day trade. If I just see everything as I'm immediately wrong and boom, I'm totally incorrect, I'm just going to bail. And bailing on that trade will give me some opportunities to potentially get back in. Now, at this point, we're about to experience some exhaustion volume, in my opinion, because this candle coming in on PayPal, right, at this point probably down 4.2% or something, being down pretty strong, volume increasing, I'm like, yeah, how much lower is it really going to go? Plus, if I do some type of wave count, it's like a 1, 2, 3, some kind of 4, maybe a 5. So I'm thinking it's about to slow down. This is pure volume where all the newbies are hopping in. This is just classic short selling, low of the day break. So there's a bunch of newbies hopping on. Here's a high wave candle right here. So again, nice little volume. I'm already out of the trade, bullish. So if I'm in a bullish trade, I'm just totally out. There's a hammer. So that's good. Now you have 4 bearish candles in a row, and the low of this candle is 105.83. That's exactly what stops you out, which is terrible. I hate when that happens. I'm really sorry that happened to you, but it's not gonna be the first time, and it won't be the last time. It's happened to me many times. I get stopped out by a penny, and something keeps going. But remember, when something does stop you out by a penny, and it throws in a nice lower shadow, and you can see, oh man, did I just get trapped? Right? Remember, you were bullish on this trade. So like, did I just get trapped on this trade? It didn't close below my support. I might have gotten trapped. And if we start taking out this high, that resistance, I'll start considering getting back in bullish. Because again, there's your high wave candle right there. Really nice resistance. And there's nothing realistically stopping PayPal once it breaks here to go back to here, to fill that big bearish candle that came in. There's nothing stopping it at all. So if I did get in bullish and got wicked out, and I go, okay, there's a little bit of a candle, and there's the close. All right, so there's the close above the resistance. At this point, if I'm going to get back in bullish, I'm going to get in bullish halfway into this candle, stop loss, kind of like you, a little bit farther away, because I'm trying to pick the bottom. But now you actually have a candle, some solid candles. You're like, yeah, this should work out. Okay, so that would be my setup if I was going to get in bullish. I'd hold, and this should be the retracement right here. Okay, waiting. There's a little bit of a lower shadow, so that's probably the entry spot right there if we didn't get filled. Waiting, still opening. Okay, so we got filled. So this is good. Now I will say this could be a double top, and this again is a nice lower shadow. So we're in the trade bullish. What I'm going to do is more or less hope and pray. And if we trade down to here and bounce, I'll move the stop. If we close above this candle, I'll move the stop. But this is how I'll be looking at getting in PayPal bullish. And let's just see what the rest of the candle does. All right, so we're immediately right on the trade. That's good. So I would take my stop and move it up to here. Put it right there. So that's the new stop. And now I'd walk away for 30 minutes, come back, and then eventually move my stop to here and just figure out what's going to happen. While I'm away, I probably do have a target, some kind of target set up, probably right here for a quarter of my shares, because if I'm going to do that, walk away, just be gone, I want something, because if you're fading a trade, right, it usually takes some solid amount of time. So let me just go 30 minutes. I'm going to come back. I haven't even looked at the chart. Okay. So coming back, we hit a quarter of my position, so I'd be out of a quarter, and then I would take the stop loss. And you know what I would do from here. Take it, put it up to right around here. And then I'd give it another 30 minutes to hang out. This time, I'd ask PayPal to close above this candle that just came in. So if we close above here on PayPal, then I'll hold the trade. So if we do that in the next 30 minutes, I'll hold. If we don't, I'll be looking at getting out. We're trading sideways, we're trading all the way back down, all the way back down. There's your 30 minutes. Obviously did not close above that resistance. This trade, everyone in the world probably is doing exactly what I'm doing, so it's going to come down, hit my stop, and bounce. But since I'm doing a fade, I realize that. So with this candle right here, I'm going to take my stop. I'm going to move it to break even so that I can't lose on the trade, and I'm fully expecting to get trailed out. There it is. And then from here, it probably bounces or something. Now again, you could have taken your stop and put it here. I realize that, but sometimes you just like to let your runners run without switching back to any other time frame or anything. And that could have depended on what I did on the day and things like that. But if it stops us out here, it probably comes back down and eventually pops again. Maybe not, I don't know. It did, softly, kind of, sort of. So anyway, that's how I would have played PayPal bullish, and it would have been a very, very small win, but it wouldn't have been a loss. Sorry that happened, Lee. That's just my thoughts. Hope it was helpful. Thank you for allowing me to do your trade review. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope a lot of you also got some good feedback and information from this video. You guys rock. I'll see you next week. Bye.